What's up? What's up? What's going on, Bama Nation? How we feeling on a Friday? TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show in these streets. Number one forum for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys in here. Get in the chat line. Go crazy in the chat line. We're taking all chats, all comments tonight. Daily super chat, go $100. Daily super chat, go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, like the show, hit that subscribe button as well. We appreciate the love coming from you all as we're going from the home location. But tonight's show, we're going to get into my thoughts on the biggest matchup for Alabama versus Oklahoma. And for you guys, I want you to drop in the chat line your biggest matchup for Alabama against Oklahoma. For me, it's going to be Alabama's offensive line against Oklahoma's defensive front. The Sooners have 32 sacks this season. Thomas Mason, he leads the team in sacks with 7, tackles for loss, I believe, with 9. The Sooners have some guys that can get after the quarterback and make life rough on the opposing offense, but Alabama has an offensive line that's rounded into form under coach Chris Kapovich at the right time. This is an Alabama group that I believe is a semifinalist for the Joe Moore Award, which goes to the nation's top offensive unit in the country. This is an Alabama offensive line that's tremendously improved from last year. Let's just say it. Last season, 2023, in Saban's final year, the offensive line gave up 49 sacks. It's only given up 17 this year through 10 games. That's an improvement of giving up 32 fewer sacks, 32 less sacks. It's a big improvement for Alabama. You look at Caden Proctor, Elijah Pritchett. They've had good moments this season. Wilkin Formby has grown. We've seen Jaden Roberts, Gino Vandermark rotate in and out there. Tyler Booker's been the leader up front. And then you have Parker Brailsford, who's been very good as the transfer center coming over from Washington. Young man who's only had one bad snap, all season. Did a fine job protecting Jalen Milroe there in the pocket. But I think this is the biggest matchup because Oklahoma is going to want to come after Jalen Milroe, rough him up, get him on the ground, create some takeaways, get their crowd at Memorial Stadium in the football game. That's what Oklahoma wants to do. Get their crowd inside Memorial Stadium going because the Sooners, they're trying to make a bowl game right now. They are 5-5. Oklahoma is trying to make a bowl game. You beat Alabama, you're bowl eligible at 6-5. And Alabama is not trying to have Oklahoma make a bowl game on its watch, right? So you got Brent Venables here on the hot seat. Things have not gone well for the Sooners this season. They entered the year with a lot of high hopes, a lot of strong expectations, but that hasn't happened. They start the year off 4-1, playing well, got the big win over Auburn on the Plains, and since then, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, going to 5-5 on the season. So this is where Oklahoma is right now. And the only way it can salvage what it has to end on a positive note is by beating Alabama. I don't think Oklahoma has the horses to do it. I know Oklahoma doesn't have the horses to do it, but if there was one flicker of hope the Sooners have to at least make this game interesting is their defensive front getting pressure to Jalen Milroe and giving Alabama's offensive line a hard time. That's the only matchup I see where Oklahoma could possibly, have success. If not that matchup, I don't see it. But that's the only matchup I see. Our Thomas Mason, once again, he's got 9 tackles for loss. He's got 7 sacks to lead the team. Oklahoma, 32 sacks on the season offensively. the Sooners have been struggling, whether it's Michael Hawkins Jr. at quarterback, whether it's Jackson Arnold, the Sooners have struggled. So you're going up to an atmosphere that's going to be intriguing, very interesting. The weather's supposed to be pretty cold up there in Norman, but the match that I see, if there is a matchup here, is Alabama's offensive line, Oklahoma's defensive front. Can Alabama keep Jalen Milroe clean in that pocket all game? Can Milroe have that decision making to understand I'm getting out this pocket, I'm running with it, or I got my check down right here, my hot read right here, the guy who I want to get the football to right here and roll with it from there. Those are the types of things that I would like to see from Milroe and this offensive line in this football game. But that's just kind of the only thing that I see as far as matchup-wise. And you guys get your thoughts in here in terms of if there's a matchup that you see that could be the biggest one in this game between Alabama and Oklahoma. Also, going back to Wednesday's show, if you've got score suggestions or offensive, defensive MVPs for this game, drop those in the chat as well. We're talking score suggestions, offensive and defensive players of the game for Alabama. Put those in the chat line as well. We will read those. Appreciate that coming from you guys. But I'm going to get some of your comments right here. Don Parker is already in the building. What's up with you, Don? He's got good evening, everyone, and Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Don, being the partier of the show. We got my guy, Coach Juan. What up, man? Lank RTR. So Coach Juan already throwing the lank there for us. GT18 with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, GT18, being in the building. Jarvis S. Oklahoma is a proud program. They are just going to lay down and roll over for us. They are not going to just lay down and roll over for us. We have to go into Norman and impose our will, clean house, home invasion. I mean, Oklahoma's not going to lay down. They are a proud program, absolutely. They're trying to become bowl eligible under Brent Venables, absolutely. They're trying to ruin Alabama's season in the sense of knock it out of SEC championship contention, but also college football playoff contention. They're trying to end all of the postseason goals, aspirations where this team is concerned. So you cannot walk in here taking Oklahoma lightly. Jarvis, I agree with you. Coach Juan, we're going to dog walk the Sooners. There we go, Coach Juan, showing that confidence there, saying that Alabama will dog walk Oklahoma. We got Farouk Al-Amin writes in Road Tide family. Farouk, appreciate you, brother, being in the building. He's also shouting out Don Parker and GT18. Don Parker, no time for Bama to play around. Beat this team from snap to the whistle. They're just next on the schedule. This is Bama. It's what Bama does. We don't need another Vandy game played with the standard. So Don Parker pulling out his Damian Square impersonation from that video where Damian Square was like, we're going to choke him out from the snap with a whistle. He don't want to see me. It's Bama. That's what we do. It ain't my problem. He's the next team. He's the next team on the schedule. But they going to find out. In that video that, of course, Damian Square is giving this motivational speech to the team. You got Scott Cochran there yelling in the background. Very legendary video. If you want to run through a brick wall, I encourage you to watch that video of Damian Square giving this fiery message to the team in the locker room. And you have Coach Cochran yelling and screaming there in the background. I appreciate Don Parker for that. Jarvis S. writes back in 42-17 Bama. That is his score suggestion there. He's got Bama 42, Oklahoma 17 tomorrow in Norman. We got Farouk Al-Amin with that Road Tide Road. Jarvis S. Shout him out right there. Appreciate you guys showing love to everybody in the chat. Farouk writes in, Alabama needs to take no chances and play Oklahoma like they're the best team that they have played thus far. Can't take them lightly. You can't take the Sooners lightly. The same mentality you rode into Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 2 weeks ago. Take that same mentality to Memorial Stadium in Norman and beat Oklahoma. That's what you got to do. The same mentality you roll into Death Valley with, but take down Brian Kelly, Garrett Nussmeier, and the Tigers. You take that same mindset, go into Oklahoma, handle the Sooners. Jay Walker writes in, Roll Tide, gonna be a great one tomorrow night. Should be a good one. Bama, Oklahoma, 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. ABC will have the call on the game. But Bama, Oklahoma should be a good one. Appreciate Jay Walker for coming in here. Cat Pool, appreciate Cat getting us a Roll Tide. Thank you, Cat, being a part here of the show. Patricia Purdue getting us that Roll Tide. Thanks, Patricia. Anitra is in here. We get that Roll Tide from her. We got Roll Tide and Rise Up in here. Get us a Roll Tide there. We got Don Parker. The matchup I'm most concerned about, Bama's performance. This is the biggest game because it's the next game, and they next on the schedule play to the standard. Let's not forget the process here. So the matchup he's concerned about is how does Bama perform against Oklahoma? Don Parker wanting this team to be at its best. No matter who the opponent is faceless. He wants this Alabama team to be at its best out there on the field. Anitra shouting out Roll Tide and Rise Up. Patricia Purdue shouting out Roll Tide and Rise Up as well. GT18 tomorrow night is the night. It is. Tomorrow night, big football game. Alabama wins. It continues to move on, and it's pushed for not just an SEC championship opportunity, but to be in that 12-team college football playoff. Right now, Alabama ranked at number 7. Joe Will checking in. Well, Joe Willie just checking in. I'm kind of nervous about the game because Oklahoma has had 2 weeks to game plan for Bama. I know we are better, but preparation is key. Preparation is key. Oklahoma has had time. Oklahoma also has several players out. We will see, how that affects the Sooners with several players being out. Oklahoma going to play 2 quarterbacks. I would think you would go Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins Jr. You play both of them. You see which one gives you the better opportunity, which one gives you kind of that edge against Alabama's defense. A lot to look at in this game. For Alabama offensively, how does Nick Sheridan draw this up? Milroe, the running backs, the ground game. Could this be a game where Ryan Williams pops off at wide receiver? Just a lot of different variables going into this one. But Joe Willie, I agree with you. Preparation is key. Excuse me, Oscar Wilson. How's the weather going to be tomorrow night in Norman? It should be 50 degrees or cooler. 50 degrees or colder. Should be 50 or lower. I'm seeing some weather estimations 55 degrees, some 50, some in the 40s. So should be at least 50 or lower in Norman on tomorrow. Now, will there be snow? What's the question? A lot of weather meteorologists are predicting snow. Guessing snow. Estimating snow, projecting for there to be snow, but we will see what happens, what takes place out there on the field. Don Parker writes in, I'm not making predictions as usual. Bama needs to play to that standard, go into Norman, blow this team up, and go home. It's still Bama versus all y'all. There you go, Don. Go into Norman, kick the dough in, beat the teeth out, pack up, go back home with that victory. Like I said, Alabama's got every postseason goal in front of it. It's got every postseason aspiration right there. But what is Oklahoma trying to do? End all of the postseason aspirations. You're Alabama. Can't have that happen there. Let's see here. John Gregory. Appreciate you, John. Roll Tide, roll. Keep it rolling all season long. And that's what Bama intends to do. to keep those postseason dreams, postseason goals rolling. David Williams writes in, apparently you can't take any team lightly. This is a new era in football. Even nobodies can sneak up on you. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like Alabama learned that earlier this season, right? Because people say it's Vanderbilt. Vandy shouldn't even be on the same field. You know, Bama's going to wipe the floor with Vandy. Alabama took the Commodores lightly, and Clark Lay and Vanderbilt blacked Alabama's eye by beating them. So this has been a season where you can't take any team for granted, because even the team that you feel like is the most insignificant will come up and bite you and shock you, because you didn't feel like, okay, this team was going to be that good, or this team was going to be that competitive, but they were. Let's see here. Jarvis S. writes in, this is only our 7th time ever playing Oklahoma. This is definitely an unfamiliar opponent. Yes, it's the 7th time playing Oklahoma. The last time a Tide played the Sooners was the 2018 Capital One Orange Bowl in Miami. You had Tua Tagovailoa versus Kyler Murray. That was an intriguing matchup. Prior to that, I think it was the 2014 Sugar Bowl off the 13 season where Derrick Henry ran wild as a freshman. However, Trevor Knight in Oklahoma got the win there over Alabama in that Sugar Bowl. So Alabama has not played Oklahoma many times. Only the 7th time these two teams have met up here on the field. But this time, the most important one, because Alabama's got a lot to play for here. Roll Tide to your Whitwell Sports title towel. My guys, Lavelle Wilson, Thomas Whitaker, great guys. Whitwellsports.com. People, get you a title towel today. Get you that towel, twirl it in the air like you just don't care. We got to have over 100,000 people in Bryant-Denny for the Iron Bowl, twirling those towels right there. The story behind the title towel is my guys, Thomas Whitaker and Lavelle Wilson, they're big Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So the Steelers had the terrible towel, and my two guys were like, how can we equate this but make it with some Alabama Crimson Tide flavor? And so that's where the title towel was born. But check them out. Title towel right there. Good guys. Appreciate them dearly. Check out the show here. Shouts out to Taya Harden with that Let's Roll. Taya Harden, absolutely. Dunn Parker, I'm not underestimating Oklahoma. Hey, Dunn, we know you're not. We know, Dunn, you not. We know, Dunn, you're going to give Oklahoma that just due respect entering this matchup here. Duval Sanders, going to wear my Milroe jersey in Atlanta Airport tomorrow. I can't wait to see the reaction. So my guy's going to wear his Jalen Milroe jersey inside the Atlanta Airport. Duval, you might get some people happy with you, then you may get some people mad at you. But hey, it is what it is. We got Bryden Curry. I'm starting to think you guys want Bama to lose because of how negative y'all been for this game. I'm not saying wanting Bama to lose. I'm just laying out here the biggest matchup for Alabama versus Oklahoma. And I think the biggest matchup is going to be Alabama's offensive line, Oklahoma's defensive front, because Oklahoma does have guys that can rush the quarterback, and Alabama's offensive line is going to hold those guys off, right? So that's all, Brodden, I'm saying is I'm just looking at the biggest matchup here for this game between Alabama and Oklahoma. Anitra with Duval and some crying now for the Moses. Hey, Anitra, he said he going to wear his Milroe jersey at the Atlanta airport. So I don't know what type of reception Duval for to get with this thing. Now, you're gonna have the Bama fans in there that's gonna dap them up and say roll tide, all that good stuff. But you're gonna also have some Georgia fans in there wondering how in the world did this man get into the airport. I'm just saying. But gonna be fun either way, the reaction. Don Parker, I'm not underestimating OU. Bama needs to play ball tomorrow night. These players should not forget Vandy. Even last week's performance was substandard. Hope they come out with the fire lit under them. That's what I'm saying, Don. Take that performance from LSU. That performance, you came out, you were locked in, you were intense from start to finish. A touchdown was not given up to LSU until 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That game was 35-6, 42-6 for the most part. Touchdown didn't hit the board for LSU until 11 seconds left in regulation. So this Alabama team got to come out here on fire against Oklahoma. David Williams, Alabama was Vandy's first big test. Nobody in the country was expecting them to play as hard as they did. Afterwards, everyone took them seriously and adjusted. That's the thing. Like, Vandy shocked everybody when that happened. Vandy shocked everybody. So that's why, if you're Alabama, you can't just take Oklahoma lightly, even though they may have guys injured, even though they may not have the talent on the field as you do. You got to go in there with that just due respect and play Oklahoma like they're the number one team in the country. That's how you got to do it. You got to go out there and play Oklahoma like the Sooners are the number one team in the nation right now. Let's see. B. Jammin writes in, as long as Miro is focused like the LSU game, we should roll all over him. Let's go. Finish stronger than ever. RTR. Hey, Jalen Milroe's on his A game. He is the most difficult quarterback for anybody to handle. When Milroe is at his apex on the field, he is the most challenging quarterback for any defense to handle there. Let's see, GT18. I've always had tons of respect for Oklahoma. No different tomorrow. They will be ready. We have to match it and then some. Look, Brent Venables is going to have his team ready. He's going to have his team ready. He's going to have his team prepared to flat play. For Alabama, you got to have the intensity, the energy, the focus, not only to match that, but also to have the proper execution from start to finish. Offensively, defensively, special teams, the proper execution is needed for Alabama. Jay Walker is in here feeling the defense will only give up a few field goals. This defense has been playing lights out since Tennessee game. Tennessee game is where the Alabama defense turned the corner. I feel like that game, Alabama played well enough to win that game. And then South Carolina told them up. I mean, we're talking 15 turnovers since the South Carolina game. 15 turnovers. So, I mean, this is a team. This is a team defensively that is playing its best football right now. And I think Jay Walker, they can give up just a couple of field goals here to Oklahoma. Appreciate all of you guys writing in, being a part of the show here. Let's see. Jay Walker, they might not all Duval through security. Hey, security may have Duval right though. Security may have my guy right though. Let's see here. Monica Hubbard writes in, Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you, Monica, being a part of the show at Nitra. He better get some respect, Steve. Now, Duval gonna walk through the Atlanta airport with that Milroe jersey on, and a lot of Alabama fans gonna have that respect. A lot of them gonna have that respect now. Now, you may have a Georgia fan or two have some respect, but the mass majority gonna be looking at him cross-eyed. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I remember back in July, right? I'm flying to Dallas for the SEC Media Days, and I have to go through Atlanta, right? And so I'm sitting here at the Atlanta airport. I didn't even have no Milroe jersey. Now, no, I just have an Alabama hat on. And a whole bunch of Georgia fans were looking at me like, who did what for and why, right? I mean, I didn't have no Milroe jersey on. All I had on was an Alabama hat. And that thing wasn't even red and black. That thing was brown with just the state of Alabama on there. And them jokers was giving me all types of what for. So you're going to have some people, Duval going to walk through, and my man Duval going to walk through that thing. He going to be all right. You're going to have some people dapping him up, and you're going to have some people looking at him like, yeah. So it's going to be real interesting, though. Duval will watch back in. Anitra, all these dog fans know I'm coming. Steven, I didn't get my prediction on Wednesday. I got 35-7 Bama over Oklahoma. All right, Duval, I got you. You got Bama 35, Oklahoma 7. Duval, I got you right there. Dale B is in here. Roll Tide to you, Dale B. Happy to have you in here. He writes in, yes, Bama needs to bring the team that beat LSU. The team that slaughtered LSU needs to be the team in Norman, Oklahoma to slaughter the Sooners, period. Thank you, Dale B, for that statement there. Let's see here. Let's see. Appreciate all of you guys for writing in. Here we go. Roll Tide and rise up. Stephen, Alabama fans stand tall over here in Georgia. We roll Tide proudly. Hey, I know that roll Tide. I know that. I know there's Bama Nation in Atlanta. I know there's Bama Nation in Georgia. I know this. This much I know. This much I know. That's why I'm saying when Duval rolled through there, he gonna get some high fives. He gonna get some dap up. He gonna get love. That part I know. I'm just saying there's gonna be some wild dog fans over there too, looking at him like, hey, why you got this on here? But it ain't gonna bother Duval. It ain't gonna bother Duval. I'm telling you, it's not gonna bother that man. Jarvis S. Need that same mindset we had against LSU. I think Jarvis Bama's got that mindset. They're gonna come in ready to play here in Norman. The guys have had a great week of practice. They have been locked in on the attention to detail. They've been locked in on the studying, on the game plan, on everything. This team's ready to go. They're prepared to go. David Williams writes in, Alabama needs to play every game as if they were the underdog. Oklahoma's going to bring it. Auburn is going to bring it. Right now, we're going to put Auburn on the side right now. The focus is the Sooners, Oklahoma. I know Auburn is on the horizon. I know the Iron Bowl is on the horizon. But right now, that focus is on Oklahoma. Bama has to bring it against Oklahoma. Take down the Sooners. The Sooners schooner also. Take all that down. Let's see here. Don Parker. Alabama needs to be able to run the football tomorrow. Milroe should not be the leading rusher either. This O-line needs to play with bad intentions. After watching Jihad Campbell and that defense play with bad intentions against LSU, the offense needs to play with bad intentions here against Oklahoma. Running the football with Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young. According to Don Parker, Jalen Milroe should not be the leading rusher in this game. Shouts out to my man, Big Bill! Bill from New York dropping that $8 in the chat there. Appreciate that from Bill. Milroe looked great against LSU. And I'm talking about his passing. He was decisive and accurate. 2 great passes were dropped. This is correct. So this is correct, Bill. You are right. Jalen Milroe has to come out here being accurate, being decisive against Oklahoma as well. But, Bill, you are correct with that. Let's see here. Appreciate all of you guys being a part of the show. Dale B says, Bill with the dough. Bill comes back. If Milroe keeps it up, we can play with anybody. If Milroe plays the way he played against LSU and, the touchdown passes he threw there against Mercer, you can. Alabama can play with anybody in the country. South Carolina beat this same Oklahoma team 35-3 in Norman. I believe we can have the same type of success against OU as well. I mean, South Carolina had a running quarterback in Sellers. Sellers ran all over Oklahoma, Jarvis, as you are correct. South Carolina's defense, they've got 2 guys, and Kennard and Stewart, that got after the passing game of Oklahoma. South Carolina, they took care of the Sooners 35-9. Alabama's got that same recipe to be able to do that. I agree. Bill writes in, I hope so, Jarvis. Hey, we finna see it. Dale B with that $10 donation, helping us out here on the show. Appreciate that from Dale B. He writes in, Roll Tide. Let's beat Oklahoma like we did with LSU. Appreciate that, Dale B. Anitra writes in, I agree, Jarvis. Anitra believes that with Jarvis, if South Carolina took down Oklahoma, Bama can too. Bill writes in, they don't bother me in the Atlanta airport. The plane I was on was loaded with Tide fans. Okay, hey, you know what? I need to come on back down to Atlanta then. Where my ultimate Bama gear down there then. If they not bothering, Duval, if they not bothering Bill, I need to go back down to Atlanta then. James Knox, Roll Tide till I die. The In My Own Words TDA family. Appreciate you, James. Be a part of the show. James, how that cruise went, brother? How that cruise went? Big Bill shouting out GT18 and everybody else here in the chat. James Knox as well. Roll Tide and Rise Up. Shouting out James Knox. Appreciate that. Dale B going with 35-10. Bama over Oklahoma. Appreciate that. Dale B 35-10. Bama. Don Parker, to all the Bama supporters in Georgia, you should see the looks I get supporting the Tide here in D.C. Oh, the hate. Look, hey, look, Don, I can see it. I mean, you know how wild dog fans get when they see a Bama fan coming. So I can only imagine, Don, the eyeballs you get, man, when you're rocking your Bama in the D.C. area. I can only imagine. Man. Here we go. Appreciate all of you guys checking out the show here. Jay Walker writes in, there's going to be a lot of upsets across college football tomorrow. It's setting up Jay to be that way. It is setting up Jay to be that way. Let's see. Duval writes in, Don Parker, oh yeah. Hey, he said, Duval says he catches it, man, when he brings his Bama lunchbox and matching Yeti to work. Hey, Duval, wear that lunchbox and that matching Yeti proudly, man. I know you already do. Get that lunchbox and that matching Yeti. Wear it proudly, man, to work. James Knox, yes, sir. Don Parker, the hate is real. The hate is real here in Alabama, North Country, D.C. So James Knox agreeing with that hate being real there of Bama in the D.C. area. GT18, wear it proudly, Duval. I live in Florida around these Gators and Knowles. I wear my Crimson Tide proudly. They know what's up. In Florida, GT, you got Gators, you got Knowles, you got Hurricanes. So you really, down there in Florida, got to rep that Bama hard because you got Gator fans you're dealing with, Seminole fans you're dealing with, Miami Hurricane fans. You're dealing with a lot down there in Florida, GT. I'm just saying. You dealing with a lot down there. Duval writes back in, GT, I think my chest gets bigger when I put that crimson on. Hey, because Duval, they know what you represent, bruh. They know exactly what you represent. Don Parker writes in, LOL, the looks I get when I rock that lank hoodie or that Bama versus y'all versus all y'all t-shirt. Hey, here we go. Here we go. Duval says, Don Parker, I need that Bama versus y'all t-shirt. I'm going to need that too. My man Bill, screw him, DP, Roll Tide. Believe it or not, there are Bama fans in New York. Hey, them Bama fans in the Big Apple, Bill, they up there. And you are leading the pack, Bill. You are leading the pack for them. DP writes back here, I wore a Bama hoodie to the National Mall. The dirty looks you get here, it's more interesting than Georgetown. Oh, man. Oh, this is good. Bama Girl 2020. What's up, Roll Tide? Appreciate you, Bama Girl, being a part of the show. Alfonso Cloud. Georgia hating over Roll Tide. Hey, look, man. This, I'm telling you, that as we wind down this season, right, and we're preparing for postseason stuff, SEC championship, college football playoff, there's going to be a lot of chaos here going around. lot of chaos here. Like I'm excited to see this stuff ensue, but more importantly, watching Alabama football continue to maneuver and win while all of this stuff is ensuing. You got Don Parker talking to William Morris, aka my guy Bill. I wore a Bama hoodie in Midtown Manhattan. So he had a Bama hoodie on, Midtown Manhattan. What happened, they're done. We got to get the rest of that. What happened there? We got Roll Tide and Rise Up shouting out Bama Girl 2020. Bama Girl 2020 comes back with, my husband works Bama polos in the ATL. He gives 0 about looks. Hey, look, he doing that job, Bama Girl. He's doing that job. Alfonso Cloud, Oklahoma is in trouble. Let's go. Oklahoma's got a dangerous task, man. They got a lot of players out. They're taking on an Alabama team that's relatively healthy and a team that's playing confident at the right time. Oklahoma's got a lot on its hands to deal with. The only 3 players that are out this game for Alabama, Keon Sabb out with a foot. He's out the rest of the season, of course. Cole Adams is out with a leg injury. He's out the rest of the season. We all know this. Q Robinson, we hate that. He's out rest of the season, upper body injury. But those are the only 3. Oklahoma's got a slew, I'm saying a slew of guys out for this game. Duval Sanders, I watched Bray Hubbard on the New Wave podcast, and he is a huge safety. I do think will be good on the back end with him and Malachi Moore. Bray Hubbard, 6'2", 204 pounds. And I didn't think Bray was that big until I got on the field in the 4th quarter of a game this season. I think it was, I got on the field in the 4th quarter of a game this season. I think it was a South Carolina game. I got on the field, and I look at Brayson Hubbard, and I'm like, that is a dude. It's a big dude. Didn't think Bray was that big, but that guy's physical. That guy's real physical out there. Bama Girl 2020 writes in, I watch Sooners online. Those jokers are scared. Hey, Bama Girl already saying Oklahoma's scared to death. Okay. We got Don Parker. Wore a Bama hoodie in Midtown Manhattan with Timberlands. I got multiple ties. So Don came out to stepping on their neck. He didn't just have the Bama hoodie in Manhattan. He had them Timbs on. So Don Parker was stepping on people's necks. Yeah, he got multiple roll ties, but he was stamping on some necks with them Timbs on. I see you, Don Parker, with them Timbs. I see you, man. That Rakim paid in full. I see you, man, with them Timbos. Okay. Them Timbos on. Let's see, Alfonso Cloud, I wear my Bama gear in Georgia with pride. You got to do it. You got to do it, Alfonso. You got to rock the Bama gear with pride there. My man Bill writes in, Steve, Diana did another clothes drive for her patients. I donated a few Bama shirts, and the psych patients grabbed them and loved them. Hey, shouts out to Diana, Bill. Shouts out to your wife there, Diana, with the clothes drive. And for you, Bill, to donate some Bama shirts, and the patients grabbed and appreciated it. Big ups to you, Bill. Happy about that right there. Bama Girl 2020 with the yes. I mean, yeah, look, I absolutely appreciate Bama Girl right there, showing us the support here on the show. We got Sweet Home Bama 24 ready for the OU game. Stephen Roll Tide. Would love to see Caleb Odom get some more looks. I would love to see Odom get targeted. He's worked so hard this year. He's gotten on the field as a freshman, but a very good blocker on the perimeter, but he's only gotten 6 catches this season. 6 to 7. I would like to see that 6'5", 230-pound weapon be used more offensively. I would like to see Nick Sheridan call up more things to get Caleb Odom in the flow of this offense. Because I just go back to the practice for the Rose Bowl, right? And I know Caleb Odom didn't play in the Rose Bowl because, he hadn't gotten on campus yet as an early enrollee. But still, he was able to be a part of bowl prep. And this dude was just mossing people in the bowl prep prior to facing Michigan. And from spring to summer to fall camp, he's been a good player out there. So I would like to see Caleb Odom get more looks on the field. We got Jonah Talia writes in, wearing some flip-flops in Indiana right now. My boy Roll Tide. So Jonah Talia's got the flip-flops going. We got Don Parker, the most interesting place. Hey, you're walking through it, Manhattan with some Timbs on. Hey, it's very interesting. Now, but Don actually said the most interesting place I wore Bama gear was 6th Street in Austin, Texas. Well, of course, Don, if you wear it, Bama gear in Austin, Texas, they're going to always say, well, y'all wouldn't have won that championship. Colt McCoy didn't get hurt. If Colt didn't get hurt, y'all wouldn't have no ring to be cheering about. Of course, everybody in Austin, Texas is going to say that. And of course, Don Parker comes back. All I heard was if Colt didn't get hurt. That is the growing cry at the University of Texas. If Colt didn't get hurt, I still think if Colt wouldn't have gotten hurt, Alabama was going to beat Texas. I still think if Colt didn't get hurt, Alabama would have beaten Texas. Duval Sanders. Caleb Odom needs to be the number one threat in the red zone. He needs to. Odom is 6'5", 230 pounds. He's a big body target, big body weapon, jump ball guy. He needs to be utilized in the red zone. He needs to be utilized in this offense. Wholeheartedly agree with you, Duval. Alfonso Clow. Did Alabama pick up that running back from Auburn holdout? I'm not sure if Alabama picked up the running back there, Alfonso. I'm not sure. I'll look at that. I know our recruiting guy, Justin Smith here at Touchdown Alabama, would have more information on that. So I will get with Justin on that. But good question there, Alfonso. Let's see. GT18 writes back at Don. They still haven't put that Colt injury to rest. No, they have not put the Colt. GT, look, every time Bama plays Texas, Texas is going to always say, if Colt didn't get hurt. They're going to always lead with that. But if Colt wouldn't have gotten hurt, you were still going to get crushed. Even if Colt didn't get hurt, you were still going to lose that game. I'm just saying. Bama Girl 2020, as soon as they can control Milroe, Williams, and Lawson, as soon as they think they can control Milroe, Williams, and Lawson, gonna cook that OU secondary. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. Milroe, Williams, K-Law, they're looking to cook the OU secondary, but I think Deontay Lawson and Jihad Campbell gonna cook that they're gonna cook that Oklahoma offense. I'm just saying. My man Big Bill with that $5 donation. Diana loved the shout out, Steven. Hey, she deserves it. Miss Diana, if you can hear me, you deserve it. Great job on your part. You deserve it. And also, Miss Diana, great job on keeping Bill in line. Because Bill, hey, my man, gotta love my man Bill. Gotta love my man Bill there. Let's see here. Bama Girl 2020, she's a gem. Yes, Miss Diana, a gem. Absolutely. We got Christian Hughes, Roll Tide, Stephen M, Skyline crew. All right, Christian, Skyline's in here. All right, Skyline, let's go. Skyline checking in. Let's get it. Let's go. My man Big Bill, she's a Bama girl. Talking about Miss Diana, hey, she is. She's supporting the Crimson Tide. She's supporting Bill. Let's roll with it. Bama Girl 2020, yes. Hey, we rolling, baby. We rolling. We are rolling. Appreciate all of you guys being a part here of today's show. Helping us out here, getting us your thoughts, your conversations here. Like I said, if you still have those score suggestions, if you still have the offensive and defensive MVP, drop that in the chat line right now. Your score suggestions, your offensive and defensive MVP for this game. If you have not done so, drop that in the chat line. We got Deborah Franklin in here. Let's go, Deborah. Rolling in late. Roll Tide, everyone. Appreciate you, Deborah, being a part of the show. GT18, I believe it done. And just, oh, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. Appreciate GT18 and Don. Everybody being a part of the show here. We got Duval Sanders. Colt McCoy was in Marcel Darius's gap. No way he was going to survive. That's what I'm saying, Duval. He ran right in the big sales gap. You weren't going to survive that hit, Colt. You weren't going to survive that hit. Bro, you got popped. You asked for that. Like, what possessed you to run right into Marcel Darius? What possessed you to run right into 6'3", 300 pounds that can spin like that? What possessed you to do that? There was no way Colt was going to be healthy after that. There was no way. Let's see here. Bama Girl 2020. Do you think the weather is going to really impact our Warriors? Let's see. I don't think the weather, Bama Girl, is going to impact Bama that much. I don't think it is. Like I said, you've got several players on Bama's team that are used to some cold weather. So I don't think the weather is going to be that impactful. Jason Bernard writes in, offensive MVP, he's got Jam Miller. All right, defensive MVP, Jason Bernard's got LT Overton. Love both of those. Deborah Franklin shouting out Roll Tide and Rise Up. Dunn Parker, Stephen M. Believe it or not, Baylor fans are worse than Texas fans. Waco, Texas is wacko. So, for real? Done, for real. So, Baylor fans are worse? Because, I mean, this is new to me. Because I remember, like I said, I was in Texas, SEC Media Days, and our photographer, he wanted to go down to Waco to watch the horse race. Like, so Waco fans, Baylor fans are worse than Texas. Don Park, I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to totally keep that in mind here. Let's see. Roll Tide, my guys, Whitwell Sports, another great show. Appreciate you guys, Whitwell Sports, man. My guys, Title Tile, appreciate you guys for the support right there. The offensive MVP, Jam Miller. Defensive MVP, K.I. Let's see here. Can we get more clarification there on the K.I. Whitwell Sports? On the K.I. there. With the offensive MVP, you got Jam Miller here. I like that. Duval writes in, offensive MVP, Kendrick Law, it's time for K-Law. So there you go. That's from Duval Sanders. GT18 writes in, cold and windy. We get the same in Bama. Perfect football weather as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be cold and windy. It's already getting chilly here where the state of Alabama is concerned. So as GT mentioned, perfect football weather here for Alabama to play in. Let's see here. Roll Tide and Rise Up. Steven, every time I do a score prediction, Alabama doesn't play well. So I have stopped doing them, and Bama has been playing better. Superstitions over here. Hey, Roll Tide, I understand. Hey, if you stop giving score suggestions and Bama's wrong because you stop doing it, continue what you do. Duval Sanders, defensive MVP, Bray Hubbard, pick 6. Duval, hold on. Duval had the same thing. Duval, are we reading each other's brains right now? Because I have mentioned on quite a few radio shows this week, Brayson Hubbard, defensive MVP against Oklahoma, and a pick 6 for Brayson Hubbard. So Duval, we thinking on the same pattern here. Let's go. Bama Girl 2020. I agree. Time for K-Law. Yes, it is Bama Girl. Okay, so Whitwell's got Malachi for defensive MVP. It's time for Kai. So he's got Jam Miller, offensive MVP, Malachi Moore, defensive MVP. There we go. So Don Parker writes back in, yes, far worse. He's talking about the Baylor fans being worse than Texas fans. So yes, far worse. Baylor fans are special. LOL. We didn't call it Waco. We called the place Wacko. They even have a David Koresh museum. Yeah. Okay. So that tells me, Don, not to go to Waco, Texas for a while. Okay. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to also tell our photographer no more going to the horse races over there in Waco. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to cross Waco off the list. Thank you, Don, for sharing that with us. We got Mr. Tongue Twister 77 has become a new member to the YouTube channel. Appreciate Mr. Tongue Twister 77 helping us out here on the show. We got my man Big Bill writes in, I agree about Overton. Shouting out Jason, underrated player. Overton's good. He's good. Bama Girl 2020. Speaking of superstitions, is KD going to wear black? I'm not sure. However, I do know this, Bama Girl. 80% of Alabama's takeaways on defense, 80% of Bama's takeaways on defense have come with Kane Womack in the black cutoff Batman hoodie. So if that's any kind of indication that Kane Womack should not switch out that hoodie, there it is, right? 80% of Bama's takeaways this season have come with Kane Womack and that cutoff black Batman hoodie looking like the Dark Knight Rises. So there you go. Deborah Franklin writes back in, the weather should be 50s in the 50s, 15 to 25 mile per hour wind. So thank you, Deborah, for giving us our weather update for Norman. The weather should be in the 50s in Norman, winds 15 to 25 miles per hour there. Whitwill Sports, hey, my bad. Hey, it's okay, Whitwill. You got Malachi in there. That's the thing. You got Malachi in here. And you got Malachi's name right there in there. Let's see here. Mr. Tongue Twister, need a call-in show today. I had something to say. LOL. Well, we'll be working on that, Mr. Tongue Twister 77. We will be working on that. Let's see. He says here, I know we are focused on OU, but Ty Simpson has a brother that's a freshman. He has thrown 50 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Booth O'Brien has offered him to Boston College. That's interesting. So hopefully Alabama can get on his radar and possibly get the brother of Ty Simpson. Coach Warren writes in, empty the stadium 52-14. So he's got Bama 52, Oklahoma 14. Let's see. Duval Standard. Steven, we are both from Bama. We are both from Bama, bruh. You know them country minds thinking like 205. Hey, for real. Well, you 205, Duval, I'm 334, but still the same, 205, 334, still country. Still country. Don't matter. Whether you're 205, 334, you're still from the country. So appreciate you, Duval. Absolutely, that's correct. Sweet Home Bama 24, the weather in that Pittsburgh versus Cleveland game was crazy Thursday night. Snow was in Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. So much snow that Jameis Winston had the whole broadcast team doing snow angels. So that was snow right now. Bama Girl 2020, I'm throwing out the bat signal right now. So Bama Girl is saying, Kane, wear that black cutoff hoodie. 80% of our turnovers, of our takeaways have come with that hoodie on. So there you go. There you go. So Bama Girl is throwing out the Batman signal, the bat signal right now. Whitwill Sports writes in Batman. Yes, when Kane Womack has worn that cutoff black hoodie looking like Batman, Alabama has gotten 80% of its takeaways from him and that hoodie. I'm just saying. So if he's wearing that hoodie Saturday night, more takeaways coming. Just saying. So here we go. GT18 writes in, and don't forget the black hat for Kane too. Okay. Does the hat GT complete the look though? Like, does he have to have the hat with it? Like, can he have just the hoodie by itself? Or does he have to have the hat with it? Now, if he's got to have the hat with it, I understand. I'm just asking for a friend, GT. Does Kane have to have the hat with it? Drop that in the chat there, GT, if he's got to have the hat with it. Duval Duval Sanders writes in, Sweet Home Bama 24. That was a great game in the snow. Yes, it was great in the snow. Deborah Franklin, it was a crazy game. Yes, it was. Alabama boy Jameis Winston beat the Steelers. Yes, Winston did. Got it done. GT18. Oh, yeah, it completes it. So the hat completes the hoodie. So Kane has to have the black hat on to complete the look there. Duval Sanders, Coach Kane choosing violence Saturday night with the black hoodie. So, okay. So we're gonna go with black hoodie with the hat. And so Will Sports says may need a black Scully. So he's gonna have the skull cap. Okay. So the black hoodie with the skull cap. And so Batman had the full costume. Oh man. We are going to literally have Kane Womack dressed up as Batman against Oklahoma. We're going to literally have this man. We're going to have Kane Womack against Oklahoma dressed up as Batman. You got to love this. You've got to love this right here. This is fantastic. Coach Ward writes in 334 and 205. There you go. So we're gonna have Kane. You know what? I'm probably Bama Nation. I'm probably gonna have to get this to Kane Womack in a press release. I'm probably gonna have to write this down in a press release and get that to Kane and fax that to Kane, being like, "Man, please wear the whole black hooded gear. Please look like Batman. Please look like Batman against Oklahoma." So I'll have to get that to the Kane there. But yes, 334-205. Shout out to the Gump. We all know the area codes that represent the countryside of Alabama. So those area codes right there. But you guys continue to get your final score suggestions if you got them. Offensive, defensive players of the game if you have them. I mean, for me, once again, biggest matchup for me in this game, Bama's offensive line versus Oklahoma's defensive front. Can this offensive line hold this defensive front away from Milroe? But along with that, open up the run game. Coach Warren writes in, Coach DeBoer black hoodie. Now, when he came out there in that black hoodie against Georgia, he did some stuff. So Coach Warren, should both come out in the black hoodie? Should DeBoer and Kane Womack come out in the black hoodie? And we just throw out the bat signal for both of them to do it? I mean, I'm down with that. I'm down with Kane and DeBoer coming out there with a black hoodie on. I mean, I'm cool with it. Like, just have the bat signal out there for both of them. Just have Kane and Kalen both come out there, all black, taking over. Like, let's do it. I mean, let's do it. So Bama Girl 2020 says yes, exclamation point. So she is all for this. Okay. But Don Parker, no predictions, no superstitions. I just want to see Bama play the standard and dominate for 4 quarters in all 3 phases of the game. We ready for it, Don. We ready for it. It is tomorrow night. Duval Sanders, I'm really wanting to see this 2-back set with Justice and Jam. I really think that will give the offense a different dimension. And we saw that against LSU, and it really worked. That 2-back set, we saw some screens being thrown out of that. We saw a lot of that quarterback power run out of that, where you had Justice or Jam as the lead blocker. We saw a lot of good things against LSU with that 2-back set, with that 2-back formation, Duval. So you are correct. So I'm hoping that we see that a little bit more here against Oklahoma. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, material on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you get that subscription to touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. Get that subscription today to have all of your Bama in the palm of your hands here. I want to thank all of you for being a part of the chat line tonight, for dropping in donations tonight, for doing what you do, for liking the show, subscribing to the show, making this your spot, your platform, your space for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Bama Nation, y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy the game this weekend. Till Monday, you've been listening to In My Own Words.